This video is for educational and documentary purposes only. Do not search for or attempt to access the disturbing content discussed. Viewer discretion is advised.
Human leather. One of the most bizarre and unsettling websites to ever gain attention was humanleather.com. This site, which was on the regular web, was an online shop selling luxury goods made from real human skin. The homepage looked plain and normal, almost like a normal boutique, a minimalist design, and some polite marketing language. Browsing the site revealed jaw-dropping claims. They offered items like wallets and belts crafted from the finest tanned human skin, with price tags in the tens of thousands of dollars. The frequently asked questions explained that their donors consented their bodies before their death, and the company only accepts the highest quality skins. They assured readers that this was perfectly legal and ethical, asserting that next of kin were handsomely rewarded for the skin of the deceased. It's hard to overstate how creepy this all reads. Essentially a real-life horror movie scenario presented in a dry, corporate tone. The site gained attention around 2008 to 2011 when some blogs and forums stumbled on it. People were horrified and also skeptical. Was this a sick joke, a piece of art satire, or could there truly be a market of ultra-wealthy individuals buying human leather accessories? This site offered no names, no photos of products or facilities, just text and an email contact. It claimed its order book was full. In fact, as of 2011, it stopped taking new clients due to high demand and a long waiting list. That message fueled even more morbid fascination. So many people wanted human skin wallets that the store closed? It sounded like fiction. There is no confirmation that human leather ever sold a real human-derived product. No customer or donor has ever come forward, and no investigative journalist got a sample to test the DNA. Most signs point to it being a hoax, or at least not operational. The Daily Dot and other outlets analyzed the site and leaned strongly toward it being a cleverly worded hoax or art project, noting how the site stays vague and provides zero verifiable details. Technically, the selling human body parts is illegal in most jurisdictions. What is confirmed, the website did exist and the owners remained anonymous. The domain registration was traced by some to a person in India, according to one forum. Also confirmed that if it was real, they weren't actually taking new orders after 2011. The site literally said they were closed for new business due to excess demand. Given that over a decade has passed with no more evidence, it's safe to treat this as unverified and likely fictitious. It became more of an internet myth or talking point, rather than a functional marketplace. Speculative elements included fears that maybe it was real and involved illegal grave robbing or worse, but again, no proof or missing skins or elimination of people related to it has ever surfaced. Pink meth. One of the internet's darkest modern sites was Pink Meth, an illicit service on the Tor dark web dedicated to revenge adult content. This hidden site allowed users to upload explicit photos of their ex-partners, often obtained without consent, along with identifying details like names, social media, and even home addresses. What made Pink Meth especially disturbing was its cruel twist. When victims inevitably discovered their private images online, the site forced them to write a detailed account of their sexual encounters as a plea to have the content removed. This compounded the humiliation, essentially re-victimizing individuals who were already suffering. Pink Meth became notorious as a hub of harassment and abuse. Technically, Pink Meth was accessible only via the Tor network with an onion site, which made tracing its operators difficult. It first gained attention around 2013 to 2014 and was taken down in the late 2014 during a coordinated law enforcement sweep. However, even that victory was short-lived. By the next year, a mirror site appeared, attempting to resurrect Pink Meth's entire archive of images and data. The self-proclaimed new host boasted about seeing it as a public service to defy the authorities and keep the revenge adult content online. This cat and mouse game highlighted how content on the dark web can reappear even after takedowns. Pink Meth's existence and malicious practices are well documented by journalists and confirmed by police actions. There is no doubt it was real. For example, Vice reporters covered its takedown and subsequent revival attempt. The revenge adult content that it hosted was unfortunately authentic, with real victims coming forward. Speculation was minimal in this case. The facts were ugly enough. One area of uncertainty was who actually ran it. The original operators remained mostly anonymous, as is typical on the dark web, and it's unclear if the person behind the 2015 mirror was ever caught. But there's no mystery that needs solving about Pink Meth's purpose. It was clearly a criminal enterprise for harassment. LakeCityQuietPills. Another famous internet enigma is the LakeCityQuietPills mystery. It's a combination of hidden messages, old website, and possible ties to real-world crime. The story begins on Reddit in 2009 when a user named Religion of Peace died and a friend posted an obituary for him. This user hosted an image-sharing site with the peculiar URL LakeCityQuietPills. Tech-savvy users checking that simple image host soon discovered hidden text comments in the site's HTML source. These comments appear to be messages from unknown parties mentioning things like needing experienced personnel, job completions, and meetups. Essentially, they read like logs of assassin activity. For example, one encoded note in July 2009 talked about a gathering to send shade on his way and paying out bonuses. Later in 2010, another hidden message announced a big party at a hotel and cautioned about unsecure phones. Chillingly, around that same time, a Hamas commander was assassinated in a Dubai hotel, leading some to speculate that the secret LakeCityQuietPills posts were coordinating that hit. All of this felt like stumbling onto a real-life hitman network operating in code. The internet went wild with investigative excitement, piecing together the identity of that person as a World War II veteran and hypothesizing that quiet pills meant ammunition. The mystery had all the ingredients of a dark thriller: old soldiers, contract killings, and cryptic online communication hidden in plain sight. It became an enduring legend on forums and spawned many YouTube deep dives. To this day, there's no definitive proof that has emerged that LakeCityQuietPills was actually a contract-killing ring. Law enforcement never announced any case cracked by this, and no individual has come forward to confirm it. The most plausible explanations are twofold. One is that it was an elaborate hoax or ARG. A lot of evidence suggests that someone could have fabricated the hidden messages for fun or drama. The intricate backstory and timing might have been a morbid prank by a person with a dark sense of humor. Or two, it was a real criminal activity, and this is a harder pill to swallow without evidence, but believers point to the uncanny coincidence of the Dubai assassination and the precise military jargon as hints that it wasn't just a game. Many internet people have leaned towards the hoax theory, noting how perfectly it was like a setup to a puzzle and how it never resurfaced after the initial burst of messages. Much about LakeCityQuietPills remains speculative. It is confirmed that the hidden messages were indeed there in the HTML, and it's confirmed that 2Angel6, which is the friend who announced the person's death, left a profile. with that cryptic slogan. But who wrote the messages and whether they correspond to real events is not confirmed by any official source. It remains an unsolved internet mystery, with a split between those convinced it masked an assassin community and those convinced it was an ARG hoax that coincidentally aligned with a news event. The Cannibal Cafe. In the early 2000s, an online forum known as the Cannibal Cafe catered to extreme sexual and cannibalistic fantasies. On this now message board, a German user named Armin posted an ad seeking a volunteer to be slaughtered and consumed, and astonishingly, another man, Bernd, responded and agreed to the proposition. This led to one of the most disturbing real-life events. In 2001, Mewis and Brands met in person, carried out the gruesome act, and he was explicitly consenting on videotape, and Mewis proceeded to eliminate and eat his victim over the following weeks. The case horrified the world, raising unprecedented legal and moral questions since the victim's consent blurred standard definitions of killings. The forum itself was not on the dark web at all. It was actually accessible on the open web, demonstrating that even the surface internet could host unspeakable content. This normal-looking site with polite discussions about horrifying fantasies made visitors shocked. The Mewis case is fully confirmed through court evidence, including a videotape of the killing and media coverage. There was nothing supernatural or mythical here. It was just a brutally real crime facilitated by an online meeting place. Any initial speculation that the forum or story might be an urban legend was dispelled by the overwhelming evidence at trial. The forum was shut down after the incident became public, and law enforcement ensured that it stayed offline. Mortis. Perhaps one of the internet's longest-running mystery sites was Mortis. At first glance, Mortis looked like a dead link, just a black page with a login prompt and the word Mortis. But it captivated a generation of people. The site, active from the late 1990s up to about 2012, never had any publicly visible content. This vacuum of information led to wild speculation about what was inside. Curious hackers noted that the login was incredibly secure, and that the domain was linked to some weird clues, references to a dental office, a high-security firm, and even huge encrypted files on Usenet newsgroups. One file was reportedly 39 gigabytes in size, which in the 2000s term was gigantic. All references to Mortis were mysteriously scrubbed from search engines and even archive sites, which only fanned the flames of rumor. Theories ranged from a database to a cult's secret vault to a black market or shadow web data repository. For years, internet forums swapped stories of failed break-in attempts and supposed encounters with Mortis. It was said that the site's owner, a shadowy figure named Thomas Ling, once claimed it was just wedding photos, but no one believed that given the elaborate security. Eventually, around 2012, Mortis was shut down under unclear circumstances. Some say that the FBI got involved, others insist that Ling himself pulled the plug when the attention grew. A persistent community remained trying to solve the puzzle even after the site vanished. In a rare twist, this mystery was actually solved, and the truth turned out fairly mundane. In 2025, an investigator finally linked Mortis to Thomas Wei Ling, a real businessman from California, by finding his linked email credentials tied to the domain. It turned out Mortis was essentially Ling's private file server for pirated movies and media, originally set up in 1997 for a small group of friends. The gigantic files were video collections, and the login was locked down simply to keep the stash exclusive. In other words, Mortis was not a hub of supernatural or criminal conspiracy. It was more like a one-man's secret Netflix server hidden behind a spooky facade. All the bizarre clues, like the company names, empty lots, were either coincidences or just internet over-analysis. This conclusion is confirmed by evidence. The linked data and LinkedIn records firmly tie the domain to Ling, and multiple researchers confirm the pirated movies theory. Before this confirmation, virtually everything about Mortis was speculative, but now we know the concrete truth, making Mortis a lesson in how our imaginations can construct elaborate narratives in an information void. Red rooms. Among the darkest legends of the internet is the concept of red rooms, alleged hidden websites where viewers can watch, or even pay to direct, live stream torture and killings. The idea of a red room has been a staple of horror stories and deep web exploration videos for years. Picture a secret tour site with a countdown clock, a live video feed of a victim in a room, and a chat where depraved users bid in cryptocurrency to have gruesome acts performed. It's the ultimate nightmare of internet lore, the horror interactive. However, the crucial thing about red rooms is that they are almost certainly urban legends rather than reality. To date, no verified instance of a live killing webcast has been found on the dark web. Law enforcement agencies like the FBI, who have busted many dark web crimes, have stated that there's no evidence that pay-per-view torture sites exist. The Red Room story likely gained traction through creepypastas and by conflating real recorded gore videos with the idea of live interaction. In practice, what has happened is many scammers set up fake Red Room sites to prey on curiosity. They put up an ominous page claiming a live torture will start at a certain time, ask visitors to pay in Bitcoin for access, and then nothing happens. It's a con that exploits the myth. On the darker end, there are indeed horrific pre-recorded videos traded online, and hardcore forums for extreme sadistic content have existed. But those are not interactive live streams, and it's important not to confuse the two. The notion of a sadistic game master doing live atrocities for an audience remains, as one cybersecurity blogger put it, firmly in the realm of fiction. Not one documented case has come to light. The lack of evidence is essentially confirmed by authorities and researchers. We also can confirm the existence of scam sites that call themselves Red Rooms, and we confirm that the idea pervades online culture. Occasionally, when a particularly grisly crime is live-streamed on the surface web by perpetrators, which sadly has happened a few times on social media, people draw parallels, but those weren't for profit nor on the dark web. So in summary, Red Rooms are essentially an internet scary story that many people took literally.